On February 9th of 2012, Justice Stein held a press conference regarding an independent report or investigation that he did on the Elizabeth Board of Education. And we actually would like to share that press conference with the viewers so that they can see the results and hear his comments in regards to this investigation. Thank you.
I've conducted a long, detailed, comprehensive review of those allegations. And I've concluded the Star Ledger allegations about pressuring employees to donate to board election campaigns are inaccurate, unfair, and unsubstantiated. The Star Ledger had 7 identified sources for their story, and knowingly or unknowingly, every one of those sources was biased against this Elizabeth Board of Education. That bias wasn't disclosed, and the non-disclosure of that bias violated ethical guidelines for journalists. It should have been observed. And as I said before, knowingly or unknowingly, the Star Ledger article relied on 7 identified sources. And I'm going to talk about each one of them to you. But every single one of them had documented adversarial relationships with the board or the superintendent, and the Star Ledger articles and its editorials never disclosed that they had biased sources. Well, so the Star Ledger articles never explained that there's been a decade of hostility between Senator Lesniak's political organization, Mayor Bolwich, who's an ally, and the board, and that Senator Lesniak consistently, repeatedly has been trying to undermine this board by requesting the State Department of Investigation to conduct audits, investigations, monitorings. He and his allies have submitted Oprah requests. He's done everything he could to drag down this school system. As to why he's done it, you'd have to ask him. And that kind of harassment has gone on for the last 5 or 6 years. Like this. The foul odor in Elizabeth these days cannot be blamed on oil refineries along the turnpike. It is from the ethical rot created by the city's Board of Education. The editorial goes on and says, several authoritative sources, including a former superintendent, Tom Dunn, whom the board fired, and a former principal, Frank Cuesta, say that is precisely what happens. You're shut out of the system if you don't donate money. An ugly, harsh, unfair, distorted editorial. Elizabeth's ranking on the state tests compared to those other 37 communities have gone up. For example, there is only one school district in New Jersey that has had 3 public schools in the last 5 years awarded the Blue Ribbon, and that school district is Elizabeth. Post. But the Washington Post every year publishes a challenge index, and we cite to the website in the report. It evaluates high schools throughout the country on the basis of how well they prepare students for college. In 2011, they ranked the Elizabeth High School's second in New Jersey and 176th in the country. But in 2005, when Pablo Munoz became superintendent, Elizabeth had 11 kids that made perfect scores on the state standardized test. In 2011, on November 22nd, 2011, they had the Perfect Score Award ceremony in Elizabeth, at which all the parents were invited to see 330 Perfect Score Awards given to Elizabeth High School kids. That's an increase of about 2,600%. We had 131 employees who attended. And of those 131 employees, 41% never made a donation to a board election campaign. Of those employees who were interviewed and answered the question, 63% never had participated in a campaign event, never had volunteers. And of 131 employees, only one employee said he once thought that maybe he felt pressure to make a donation. And in my report, I described that editorial demand for investigation as uninformed and irresponsible. The Star-Ledger never said in its articles or editorial that of the 15 employees who are related to current board members, 8 of them got their jobs before their relative ever joined the board. You read the Star-Ledger story and editorial, you'll never see that. Nor did the Star-Ledger explain that before 2008 in New Jersey, it was legal for boards to employ relatives of board members. Did the Star-Ledger explain that Ronald Davidson, for example, had been brought up on tenure charges because he was accused of not allowing disabled students to ride an elevator and because he was accused of sexual harassment? That was one of their sources. His bias against the board was not disclosed. Did the Star-Ledger explain that Frank Cuesta has been serving with Mayor Bolwich on the city council for almost a decade? That Frank Cuesta was a councilman who voted for that shady land deal that the city council had to revoke? Did the Star-Ledger explain that in that same year there was a testimonial dinner for Frank Cuesta, sponsored by Senator Lesniak and Mayor Bolwich, and where the dinner chairman was Louis Rodriguez, the guy who was supposed to buy the land? Star-Ledger never told their readers that. And we have citations in the report to the most responsible journalistic ethic standards that guide newspapers all over the country and make it crystal clear that if you have a biased source, your obligation is to disclose the source's bias. And that didn't happen. And we outline the bias of every single one of those 7 sources. And because that fundamental principle of journalism was violated, we conclude that the Ledger's reliance on those sources was inconsistent with well-accepted journalistic principles, and that their allegations of political pressure simply are bogus. They're unsubstantiated, and they're not reliable. With over 500 school districts in New Jersey, and here is Elizabeth, a paradigm of the kind of district that our court thought could benefit from adequate funding. A school district that has demonstrated that with enough funding and good leadership, it can provide its children with extraordinary chances for educational progress. Why would the Star-Ledger single out this district for such a hostile, savage, adversary series of articles? I conclude with the observation that the parents of the Elizabeth school children ought to be proud of their school system and that they justifiably can take pride in the kind of school system that their children attend.
Following that, I just want to open the opportunity for any board members who may want to make comment or would like to speak on the video. Is there anyone who has a comment or anything they would like to share before we start our agenda?
Madam President, if I may.
Sure.
I apologize. I had to look at my phone. My children and my wife weren't home, and I told them to text me when they got home. You know, now that I say my children, that's the reason I serve on this board, because I believe that in America, every child should have an education, a world-class education. That education should be provided by the most trained and most qualified individuals. And that is what the institution of the Elizabeth Board of Education is. It is filled with the most professional, well-trained individuals that we could find. This board is committed to hiring and retaining those individuals. Our children deserve nothing less than that. So in retrospect, when we hear all the allegations that were being made in the Star-Ledger, the largest newspaper in the state of New Jersey, of course it was offensive to us. But this is bigger than just the board, the 9 members that are here. This is about the institution that is the Elizabeth Board of Education. Although we are members of the board, it's the institution where all the learning goes on, where lives are changed every day, and children will be affected for many, many more years to come. So it was important for us to vindicate the institution, not the Elizabeth Board. Unfortunately, the attacks were on us. These were political attacks with people with political agendas. Because never once will you hear them discredit all the work that the professionals are doing. How can you argue with 3 blue ribbon schools, themed academies? The technology we saw today, kids playing musical instruments on iPads. So you can't argue against that. These are great things that are happening in our district. I was concerned, like everyone else, of what would come out in this report, because quite frankly, I thought someone would go there and lie. And I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't lose sleep over it. I was concerned. And then it hit me. I said, no liar is going to go to a former justice of the Supreme Court and sit there and give testimony and lie, looking for an investigation, and perhaps tomorrow they may have to lie to the FBI. No one wanted to do that. They knew it was lies. But it never occurred to me till after we had the report. Now we must move forward. We must put this behind us and continue to do the work for the children of Elizabeth. That's what we were elected to do. Perhaps a 4th or a 5th blue ribbon is on our future. Under the leadership of Pablo Munoz and his administration, all the great professionals that we employ, good things are going to happen in the city as far as education. It's the rest of the city that has me worried. We know what this team can do. This group of professionals, the sky's the limit. It's the rest of the city that worries me. I recently visited a city council meeting, and I can't help but watch the malcontent expressed by that body. All they do is bash this board, while the city continues to suffer under the disgrace that is city government. Crime is up, taxes are up, unemployment is up, city debt is up. The city of Elizabeth is in over $100 million debt. Where's the investigation on that? Where's the story? Statewide, front page. The police department recently was victimized, in my opinion, by a glossy 18-page or so glossy booklet that was sent out. Must have cost over $100,000 to mail it to everyone. And all it is a political ad for the mayor who's running for re-election. Paid for with money confiscated from drug dealers. You can't have it both ways. Either we have crime or we don't. But if you can confiscate $100,000 from drug dealers, we got a drug problem. Or at least a drug dealer problem. That money would have been better served going towards equipment or training for our police officers. But they wish to play politics. I won't be the judge of that. That's the community's prerogative. I only encourage you to pay attention and to listen. At the ballot box, you'll make a decision and you'll decide whether you want this to continue. I want to thank Justice Stein for having the courage to take this on, because the political heat he's taking, they want to destroy the man now simply because he stood with us. He gave us the report. He did his job. He didn't find anything. Why? Because there was nothing to find. Folks, don't sit back and let your schools be attacked by those that simply just want to take over for their own personal gain. It's funny how Senator Lesniak can even comment on Judge Stein being paid to do this. Here's a gentleman who's made a life of very good living, fleecing the taxpayers and all the school districts across the state he represents. Where's the investigation? Where's the investigation? Congressman Andrews, as was found in a report, his district is 60 miles away from the city of Elizabeth, yet he thought he was obligated to have us investigated by the Department of Education, the U.S. Department of Education. For 2 years, they audited this district, and they found nothing. All these allegations and all these audits cost the taxpayer money. Lots of money that can be spent in the classroom. Good government has a responsibility to its constituents. Demand more from the people you elect. Don't let them tear down your educational system. You've invested so much in it, and it's starting to pay off. We see it every day in our children's success. Stand up for your children. Stand up for them, because if you don't, these guys are going to knock them over to pick up a few dollars. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members that would like to speak?
If I may, Madam President.
Yes.
You speak of vindication. You speak of providing a quality education for our children here in Elizabeth. And boards come and go. And the main function of a Board of Education is to put policy in place to assure that the quality education for the children of this city moves forward, and that future generations continue to get the best education they can. And when these string of stories came out, we know the successes that we've had, and we are aware of what's left to do and the work we have left to do, but it does make you second guess yourself. Because I don't know if how many people in the audience or at home know that this position that we sit on is customer service, community service. We do not earn 1 cent to be here. We do it because we believe in educating or providing an education, the best education for all the children here in our city. And yet you have career politicians, career city councilmen, career mayors, career senators that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, trying to tear apart and eradicate all the advancements that we've made over the past 10 years. So, vindicated? Yeah. You know what? All those allegations are not true. Read the report. There's an executive summary. It's 7 or 8 pages. It goes into detail. You'll see. And I confidently stand here with my colleagues and pledge to continue to move this district forward with the best intentions to make sure that every child is given the best opportunity for a quality education. So I congratulate my colleagues and I support you, and we will stand together and move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to speak.
Yes. Okay.
I think a lot of some people probably question, well, was this necessary? Did we have to do it? Should it have been done? I think it definitely, there's no doubt in my mind at least that this needed to be done, that we needed to get this report and this investigation underway and completed, because all these attacks just keep putting a pressure on on not only us as board members, it puts the pressure on the district and everyone that works in it, and it makes them question what they're doing and why they're doing it, and are we doing the right thing or not? And all it is political attacks. It's people that, if you start looking at the timeline of all this, of all these issues that went down, it started, I think, in May of 2011, right before the primary election. A big report to showcase how badly the board members of the City of Elizabeth, of the Board of Education in the City of Elizabeth are acting or what they're doing, and yet they just try to take away and distract all the voters from what was present at that time, which was a senatorial election against Senator Lesniak, and where he actually ended up losing his hometown in Elizabeth. He did not win in his own hometown. It sent a huge message to him, and that's all it has been since, is a vendetta against a group of individuals, a group of people, actually, a movement in Elizabeth that has decided to, you know what, we are not going to stand by and keep on just getting these this political agenda that they just keep pushing. Every 4 years you see streets getting paved, or you find out that they put new signs to say Elizabeth, or here's the mall, and this is how you get here, and this is how you get there. And you know what? It distracts voters because they start thinking, oh man, our city government is actually doing something. The streets are clean, we're getting new cops, the police officers are getting cars. That's all wonderful news. But it all happens during the 4-year term. Every 4 years we get the same thing. And people get blinded and they forget and they don't pay attention. I did it. I lived here for over 10 years already, and until I started getting involved, I really didn't pay attention. And you know what? We do need to start paying attention. If you're a voter, if you're a person that lives in the city, pay attention. Our taxes, when people say taxes rise, and if you're not a homeowner, it doesn't affect you. If you're a renter, it's going to affect you too. What do you think the homeowner is going to do when they raise your taxes? It's going to raise your rent. So at the end of the day, did this report need to get done? I think definitely did. It vindicated what these allegations said. They're not true. They're false. And I hope that everyone just starts paying attention at the truth and what needs to be done. And what needs to be done is that these people cannot keep running and being members of politics here in Elizabeth or in the Senate. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Anyone else? That's it. I just want to make one. You want to?
Yeah, I just want to add something. I don't want to say much. I don't think I need to say much. I think the report itself speaks very loud and clear. For anyone who's seen it, I think you've seen just an excerpt of a few minutes, but the whole thing is extremely dramatic. How it shows the truth, and that's my only point I want to make. The most difficult thing, I think, is having to wait. I've always known the truth always comes out. But you still have to wait sometimes, and in our case was, 6-7 months, and we certainly feel vindicated. The Elizabeth Public Schools is a flagship. Everybody in this city and in this state should be proud of what this Board of Education, along with the administration, have been able to accomplish in these last few years. And as Judge says, out of 590 districts, chosen Elizabeth to run such highly irresponsible reporting, it's appealing. It's just completely, it's hard to understand. But again, after some difficult wait, truth has come out of the mouth of someone with such a great standing, someone who had full reign. I mean, we gave him free reign to do whatever he wanted to do, interview whoever he wanted to interview, in whatever manner, whatever place, whatever he needed to do. And he did so, and I was able to come out with the truth. Obviously, whenever you face any of these things, that what they're trying to do is take your focus away from what's important. But we're not going to lose our focus. Our focus is we're ready. The best urban school in New Jersey, and we're about to embark on a journey to be one of the best schools in the whole country. Thank you.
Thank you. I would just like to say that, as Pastor Burgos has already stated, that this report actually speaks for itself. We really don't have to say much, because I think that Justice Stein did a great job, and we thank him so much for doing that investigation. And, I just want everyone to understand that he didn't have to do that the way that he did it, but being that he did the investigation, it was almost as if he knew that something needed to be said, which was the truth. And I don't think that he would put his reputation on the line for any amount of money to expose the truth. And I just hope that everyone gets the opportunity to at least look at the entire press conference on the website that we had put up, and just go look at it and understand exactly what he actually was saying through it all. And I think you would get a better picture of what this board has already done, what we have already accomplished, and how we do want to continue the progress in this district. So thank you for bearing with us as we show you that press conference, and please feel that you can go on the website to view it at any time. Thank you. Mr. Kennedy, can you just take us through the agenda, please?
Madam President?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion. I motion we buy an ad in the Star Ledger statewide, and on that ad we make reference to this report. We link it so that people could see it, they could read it, and they can make their own opinion. It's bigger than Elizabeth. This district was dragged through the mud statewide. I second that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Trujillo, second by Mr. De Silva. Any other comments? Okay, can you Mr. Nelson, can you come this way so we can ask you a question really quickly? Sorry about that. Bear with us 1 second.
Madam President, I made a motion. I believe Mr. De Silva seconded my motion. I'd like it to go to vote with all due respect.
Okay, the motion was made by Mr. Trujillo, and he actually is going to revoke it for now. Is that what you're saying, or?
No, Madam President, I'd like to vote on it.
You'd like to vote on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, he would like to vote on it, and it was passed by Mr. Trujillo and seconded by Mr. De Silva. I would just like to make it clear that we can do this now, but we will have to modify it and make sure that certain things are in place. So we need to do this with a modification so that we can make necessary to have discussion about it as well.
Madam President, I'm sure we have ample counsel on hand, and I'm sure we can do it
Yeah, we will.
above board. I'm not concerned about the legalities of it. I'm sure we're going to do it above board, but it's important that we send a message to the voters of the state of New Jersey, because let's remember that we are an Abbott district. We are an Abbott district, and most of our funds come from hardworking individuals who are New Jersey residents, and they need to know that the money being sent to Elizabeth is being well spent on education, not on politics. A small fraction of the tax levy in the city of Elizabeth goes to these schools. Okay, the state of New Jersey is paying for this education, and they need to know that we were vindicated. I have to travel around the state, and I have to give face as a representative of this district, and I want to be able to hold my head up high and know that we were vindicated. Because if we wait for the Star Ledger to retract it, we're going to grow roots here. So we need to move forward. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, roll call, please.
Burgos. Abstain. Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Absolutely yes.
Denoso. Yes. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nasco. Yes. Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Absolutely yes.
Munn.
Abstain.
It should read, Mr. Kennedy, vindicated. We like it in color.
Thank you. Mr. Kennedy, can you take us through the agenda?
Thank you. Approve the minutes of the board meeting of January 19th.
Approve the minutes.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Denoso. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Acceptance of the secretary's report for the month of December.
Accept the report.
Second.
Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Pereira. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Tab 2A, personnel report.
Move the report.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Denoso, second by Mr. Trujillo. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denoso.
Mr. Kennedy, yes, with an abstention on page 18.
Thank you. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Abstain.
Munn.
Yes.
3, tuition report.
Move the
Move the report.
Second. Moved by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Ms. Costino. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
For A, considerations.
Move the report.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Pereira. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
1 second, Mr. Kennedy. I don't have that set. Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
For B, use of facilities.
Mr.
Move the
Kennedy.
report.
Oh, wait. If I may, on 4B, 1 through 9, waiver of all fees, number 3, as recommended, please.
Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Gonzalez. Any comments? Yes, 4B. Yes. Any,
I'm sorry, ma'am. 1 second, please. Madam President, I have one comment. Number 5, the Elizabethport Little League is a small league in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the city of Elizabeth. And I ask my colleagues to please support the Elizabethport Little League to use school number 28. They've tried for several years to obtain it. Unfortunately, we've committed to other leagues, mostly soccer. It's great to see that the Little League, the Elizabethport Little League, will finally be able to use the beautiful turf that is at School 28. It's unfortunate that the councilman there doesn't support them. he sends his children to another area. I plan to ask my son whether he wants to play for the Elizabethport Little League, and we'll hope he decides to. But in any event, it's a great league. It's up and coming. It isn't as successful as the Amora Youth League, which is one of the best, if not the best. But it's well worth supporting because they're doing the hard work nobody else wants to do.
Okay, that was moved by Mr. De Silva. Thank you, Mr. Trujillo, and moved and second by Mr. Donoso.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos?
Yes.
Castillo?
Yes.
De Silva?
Yes, as amended.
Inoso?
Yes, as amended.
Gonzalez?
Yes.
Nasco?
Yes.
Pereira? Trujillo?
Yes.
Munn?
Yes, as amended.
4BB, use of facilities with usage fees.
4BB, move as recommended, 1 through 3.
Second.
Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Donoso. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos?
Yes.
Castillo?
Yes.
De Silva?
Yes.
Inoso?
Yes.
Gonzalez?
Yes.
Nazca?
Yes.
Pereira?
Yes.
Trujillo?
Yes.
Munn?
Yes.
4C, request for field trips.
Move consideration.
Second.
Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Trujillo. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos?
Yes.
Castillo?
Yes.
De Silva?
Yes.
Denosa?
Yes.
Gonzalez?
Yes.
Nazca?
Yes.
Pereira?
Yes.
Trujillo?
Yes.
Munn?
Yes.
4CC, supplemental field trips.
Second.
I'm sorry, who did move that?
Trujillo.
Moved by Mr. Trujillo, second by Mr. De Silva. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos?
Yes.
Castillo?
Yes.
De Silva?
Yes.
Denoso?
Yes.
Gonzalez?
Yes.
Nazca?
Yes.
Pereira?
Yes.
Trujillo?
Yes.
Munn?
Yes.
Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Madam President, members of the board, I'd like to give you a sampling from the excellence news of the excellent experiences our students have had since our last board meeting. On February 4th, 2012, the Jersey Gardens Mall displayed 564 small model homes created by students at Robert Morris School number 18. Decorated houses represented 564 homes that the mall's solar array could power. Lighting up of the mall celebration was aimed at generating awareness of the annual American Heart Association Go Red for Women campaign. Jersey Gardens Mall donated $1 for every home built to the American Heart Association. Watch out for the big group of students walking down the halls at Abraham Lincoln School number 14. One of the most exciting activities Healthier Alliance started is the walking club. Physical education teachers have developed a walking and jogging course in the gym. Ms. Jessica Sofranco, and the co-chair of the Healthier Alliance, created the schedule to allow for each class to participate. Each time the group walks around the cones in the gym, they walk between 1 and 1.5 miles. In commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Ms. Arnell's 7th grade students at Juan Pablo Duarte Jose Julio Marti School number 28 responded to an explanatory quotation prompt about Dr. King, in which they were required to make a text connection. After revising and editing their assignment, the students then typed their responses and inserted a photograph of Dr. King. Ms. Lopez, second grade students at Victor Mavlak, school number 21, and William F. Howard, school number 22, researched important African Americans who had made significant contributions throughout our history. The students were engaged not only in research activities, but also in reading and writing about what they learned about our past. Their work is displayed for all to see. Ms. Ann Bramsman's fifth grade science classes at Elmora School number 12 really stepped up to the challenge when asked to create volcanoes, caves, and sinkholes for a project during their unit on landforms. Sugar, water, and sand cause sinkholes to sink. Baking soda and vinegar cause volcanoes to overflow, and Elmer's glue, food color, and Play-Doh were combined to resemble lava. A report and presentation to their classmates accompanied the assignment. Students at Elmora School number 12 and at school number 28 graduated on February 8th from DARE, Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program. Fifth grade students have been learning about topics such as peer pressure, making good decisions, smoking, alcohol, and drugs. Students at Dr. Antonio Pantoja School number 27 were challenged to higher level thinking using Bloom's taxonomy. Using critical thinking skills, including knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, students hypothesized about the identities of teachers and administrators using higher level skills, questioning skills. The New Jersey Devils Honor Roll program, now in its second year with the Elizabeth Public Schools, awarded 356 of Elizabeth's highest achieving 11th and 12th graders with vouchers for 2 tickets to the New Jersey Devils home game. The selected students all placed on the district's superintendent's honor roll or the principal's honor roll for their outstanding academic performance. Mrs. Sutera's second grade students at Victor Mavla School number 21 and William F. Howard School number 22 enjoyed being read to by parents. Ms. Zorolas and Ms. Marisol's pre-K class at Francis C. Smith Early Childhood Center, School number 50, have been learning in the multisensory environment. The class has been immersed in the classic story, The Gingerbread Man. The students first illustrated, then delighted in acting out the story. Middle school students at Dr. Albert Einstein, School number 29, visited the Greater Newark Conservancy in January to learn about the history, structure, and function of a greenhouse in order to prepare for the construction of a new greenhouse at School number 29. Kevin Alaya, a senior at Alexander Hamilton Preparatory Academy, was invited by the United States Soccer Federation to attend the United Soccer League's finals, an approved event within the United States Soccer Olympic Development Programs. The United States Soccer Olympic Development Program is a system in which players are identified, evaluated, and developed for possible inclusion in the United States national teams and Olympic teams. During his sophomore year, Alaya was honored as the Elizabeth High School's 2010 Boys Soccer All-County Player. Later, he was invited to a prestigious soccer events including the Dallas Cup and Sueños MLS. Entering as an ESL student in 9th grade, Alaya has made great strides academically as well as athletically, attaining honor roll status and ranking in the top 5% of his class. He hopes to use his soccer and his academic ability to further his success. Congratulations to senior DeAndre Floyd from Thomas Jefferson Arts Academy, who became the 138-pound wrestling Union County champion on January 22nd. He was also named Outstanding Wrestler for the tournament. You can read more about the Elizabeth Public Schools on our website at www.epsnj.org. You can follow us on Facebook, among other links that we have on our website. That concludes my report for this evening, Madam President.
Thank you.
Tab number 5, authorization report.
Move the report.
Second.
Moved by Mr. De Silva, seconded by Mr. Pereira. Any comments or questions? See none, roll call. Mr. Kennedy?
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Yes.
Gonzalez. Nazco.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
5A, supplemental authorization report.
Move the report.
Second. Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Ms. Castillo. Any comments or questions? See none, roll call. Mr. Kennedy?
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazco.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
6, authorization to pay vouchers.
Pay the vouchers.
Second.
Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Gonzalez. Any comments or questions? See none, roll call. Mr. Kennedy?
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
6A, transfer of funds.
Move the report.
Second. Moved by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Ms. Castillo. Any comments or questions? See none, roll call. Mr. Kennedy?
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
7, award of contracts report.
Award the contracts.
Second.
Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Gonzalez. Any comments or questions? See none, roll call. Mr. Kennedy?
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
8, communications. There are no communications. Tab 9, claims list.
Pay the claims.
Second. Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Ms. Castillo. Any comments or questions? See none, roll call. Mr. Kennedy?
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Abstain.
Trujillo. Munn.
Yes.
Have some resolutions.
Mr. Donoso, can you, no, he's not here either, is he? Okay, Mr. Pereira, resolution number 10.
Sure, Madam President. Board of Education Resolution, Music in Our Schools Month. Whereas music education encompasses all of the academic disciplines and is an integral part of the overall educational program, and whereas music education offers all students in the Elizabeth Public Schools the opportunity to participate in the performing arts, and whereas schools are the primary place where students' talents and abilities in the performing arts are encouraged, and whereas music education fosters disciplined accomplishment and the development of positive self-images among our student body, and whereas the school spirit, patriotism, civic pride, and compassion demonstrated by our students have been nurtured and encouraged through the music programs in our schools. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the Elizabeth Board of Education do hereby proclaim the month of March 2012 as Music in Our Schools Month, and urge all citizens to support the Elizabeth Public Schools music programs through attendance at concerts, recitals, lectures, rehearsals, and other special activities planned by the outstanding music educators in our district. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to all school principals and media specialists to encourage the implementation of programs that highlight music in our schools month. I move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Pereira, second by Mr. De Silva. Any comments or questions? See none, roll call. Mr. Kennedy?
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes. Ms. Castillo, can you read 10A, please?
Absolutely. Board of Education Resolution, National School Social Workers Week. Whereas the Elizabeth Public Schools are fortunate to have well-trained and skilled school social workers on staff who are totally dedicated to helping our students reach their full potential as human beings. And whereas the Elizabeth School social workers provide supportive services to students, schools, families, and the community through crisis intervention, individual and group counseling, support groups, student family advocacy, policy and procedure development, transition services, social development assessments, and information and referral services, and where students today face many and often serious social and emotional problems that threaten their ability to learn effectively and inhibit their progress towards becoming productive and happy adults, and where school social workers' daily activities are viewed as a vital part of education process and focus on removing these barriers to learning, maximizing academic opportunities, promoting safe schools, and ensuring education success for all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of this Elizabeth Board of Education do hereby proclaim the week of March 14, 2012 as National School Social Workers Week. In recognition of the Elizabeth Public Schools, social workers and the outstanding altruistic service they provide each day in preparing our students to become responsible, productive, and successful members of society. Be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to all school principals and librarians to focus attention on the role of school social workers in our students' lives. I just would like to note that the president for the School Social Workers Association works for the Elizabeth Board of Education, Ms. Leppy, and I'm very honored as a social worker to move this resolution.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Castillo, second by Mr. De Silva. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nasca.
Yes.
Pereira. Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes. Mr. De Silva, can you read 10B, please?
Yes, Madam President. Board of Education Resolution, read across America. Whereas the members of the Elizabeth Board of Education firmly believe that reading is a major catalyst in the quest for students' academic success and the development of their skills and knowledge to all our graduates must possess to secure good and rewarding jobs. And whereas there is little doubt that reading is a key to lifelong learning and personal growth. And whereas the Elizabeth Board of Education has consistently encouraged and supported the efforts of our community to become involved in the education of our youth. Understand that this initial investment in our children will ultimately contribute to our city's well-being and its residents' quality of life. And whereas Read Across America is a national event celebrated in March each year on the birthday of a well-known children's author, Dr. Seuss. And whereas Read Across America is designed to encourage children to read and adults to become involved in the education of their communities, children. Now therefore be resolved that the members of the Elizabeth Board of Education enthusiastically endorse the Read Across America event and urge students, staff, and community members to take part in all the Read Across America activities that will take place on March 2nd, 2012, which are designed to help America's children become the best readers in the world. But be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to all school principals and media specialists to encourage district-wide participation in Read Across America celebration. I move this resolution.
Moved by Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Pereira. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nasca.
Yes.
Pereira. Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes. Mr. Trujillo, can you read 10C, please?
Madam President, with all due respect, I would like to defer 10C to Mr. Nashko.
Gladly, Commissioner Trujillo, Madam President. Board of Education Resolution St. Joseph's Day. Whereas March 19th has traditionally been known throughout the world as a Christian feast honoring St. Joseph, and whereas within the United States in recent years, the date of March 19th has taken on additional meaning. And whereas every year on March 19th, the contributions of Italian Americans are enumerated and recognized by celebrating St. Joseph's Day, by wearing and displaying the color red, and by preparing St. Joseph tables to honor the patron saint. And whereas the people of this nation have benefited greatly from all that Italian Americans have done to make the United States the remarkable country that it is today. And whereas the history of our own city of Elizabeth is especially rich with stories concerning Italian immigrants, contributions in support of growth and development of the city, and whereas the traditions, stories, music, humor, religion, and history of Italian Americans have enriched all of our lives. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the Elizabeth Board of Education acknowledge all that Italian Americans have done to make our nation, state, and city a wonderful place to live and grow and raise families. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to all principals and media specialists to encourage activities and lessons relating to the history and contributions of Italian Americans. Even though my family is not of Italian American, I have a Joseph in my family who I'm very proud of. And therefore I move this resolution.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Nasco, second by Mr. Donoso. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy?
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes. Pastor Burgos, can you read 10D, please?
Absolutely. Board of Education Resolution, St. Patrick's Day. Whereas March 17th has traditionally been known throughout the world as a Christian feast day honoring St. Patrick, and whereas within the United States in recent years St. Patrick's Day has taken on additional meaning, and whereas St. Patrick's Day is a traditional day for spiritual renewal and offering prayers for missionaries worldwide, and whereas every year on March 17th this country now pauses for a moment to remember Irish Americans, both living and dead, who contributed to the growth and development of our nation by celebrating St. Patrick's Day and by displaying and wearing the colors green and gold. And whereas the people of this nation have benefited greatly from all that Irish Americans have done to make the United States a prosperous nation, and whereas the history of our own city of Elizabeth is especially rich with stories concerning Irish immigrants' contributions toward the advancement of our city, and whereas the traditions, stories, music, humor, religion, and history of Irish Americans have enriched all of our lives, now therefore be resolved that the members of the Elizabeth Board of Education acknowledge all that Irish Americans have done to make our nation, state, and city a wonderful place to live, grow, and raise our families. Be further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to all principals and media specialists to encourage activities and lessons relating to the history and contributions of Irish Americans. I move this resolution.
Second.
Moved by Pastor Burgos, second by Mr. Donoso. Any comments or questions?
Madam President, if I may,
Sure.
on the previous St. Joseph and now St. Patrick's, the immigrants that are the Italian Americans and the Irish American paved the way for the American way that we know today, and it is a great pleasure that I support these resolutions, because had it not been for their hard work and their dedication to this newfound land of theirs, and immigrating is never easy for anyone, and they've paved the way for so many new immigrants that we see here today in the city of Elizabeth. And Elizabeth continues to be a multicultural melting pot of of people from all over the world. And one of my favorite Irishmen, Scott, right? You're Scott, Mr. Kennedy. I apologize. I stand corrected, but I like you. I like you, and you're a good man. And many like you have paved the way for the immigrants of today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castilla.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes. Ms. Castillo, can you read 10E, please?
The Open Board of Education Resolution, Women's History Month, where throughout our history, women of all backgrounds and beliefs have played a substantial and significant role in the growth and development of the United States, and was with courage, determination, and pride, women have fought to be recognized for their achievement and for just an equal treatment as citizens of this country, and was it's important that our students be made aware of the valuable and significant contributions of women to all aspects of American life. Now, therefore, be resolved that the members of the Elizabeth Board of Education proclaim the month of March 2012 as Women's History Month, and urge all citizens to share in acknowledging the courageous battle women have fought ways through our history for equality and justice. Be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to all principals and media specialists to encourage appropriate studies, lessons, activities, and displays in classrooms throughout this district in recognition of the contributions of women have made to this state and to this nation. And all women, I do move this resolution.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Castillo, second by Mr. Trujillo. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castilla.
Absolutely yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Women are great. Yes.
Munn.
Yes. Mr. Nasca, can you read 10F, please?
Gladly, Madam President. Board of Education Resolution, Youth Art Month. Whereas the arts are universal languages that bring beauty into people's lives and provide for countless wonderful experience through both active participation and sheer enjoyment. And whereas school is the primary place for encouraging awareness of the arts, as well as for developing students' artistic interests and talents. And whereas this is a tremendous learning potential for all children in the arts, and whereas through the arts, children can develop a sense of security and purpose that can be carried forward into other areas of life experience. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the Elizabeth Board of Education do hereby proclaim the month of March 2012 as Youth Art Month, and to urge all citizens to support the arts programs in the Elizabeth Public Schools through participation in the classes and special activities planned by the outstanding art educators in our district. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to all school principals and media specialists to encourage the implementation of programs that highlight Youth Art Month in our schools. I so move this resolution.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Nasca, second by Mr. De Silva. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castilla.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes. Mr. Donoso, can you read 10G, please?
My pleasure. Board of Education Resolution, National School Breakfast Week. Whereas breakfast programs can increase educational achievement, improve child health, decrease classroom disruptions and discipline problems, and improve school attendance, and whereas there is evidence that concentrating more on calories early in the day at breakfast results in better weight control because the body uses the calories more efficiently over the course of the day. And whereas the school breakfast program increases a child's readiness to learn and so enables them to obtain gain the full benefits of instruction while providing solid nourishment for physical growth. And whereas nearly 11,459 Elizabeth students choose a school breakfast each day, and whereas a recent USDA study involving 7,000 individuals monitored over a 10-day period clearly revealed that those who eat breakfast high in sugar have a short attention span and are less able to concentrate. Now, therefore, be it resolved that in order to provide every child in the Elizabeth Public Schools the opportunity to reach their full potential by starting the day with a nutritious breakfast, the Elizabeth Board of Education observes the week of March 5 through 9, 2012 as National Breakfast Week. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to all principals to encourage parents and residents to become aware that the school breakfast contributes to the health, education, and vigor of our children. I move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Mr. DeLoso, second by Mr. Trujillo. Any comments or questions?
Yes, Madam President, I just wish we had this resolution when I was a kid. I would have made much better choices.
Ms. Kenny, roll call, please.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nasca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes. Mr. Trujillo, can you read 10H, please?
Madam President, with all due respect, I defer. I am not an example of national nutrition, nor do I pretend to be. So, if any of my other colleagues would like to help me out, I would defer on reading that resolution.
Mr. Pereira, can you read 10H, please? Thank you, Mr. Trujillo.
Sure, Madam President. Board of Education Resolution, National Nutrition Month. Whereas the Elizabeth Board of Education recognizes the importance of National Nutrition Month, established by joint resolution of Congress in 1972 and observed nationwide during the month of March. And whereas the future of our city rests in the sound health and general well-being of our children. And whereas proper diet is essential to good health and intellectual development, and diet is an important part of disease prevention. And whereas learning about nutrition, healthy and wise food choices early in life provides valuable information and an appreciation of a healthy lifestyle. And whereas obesity and other diseases are related to poor food choices and poor nutritional habits, which affect the child's learning experiences. And whereas there is evidence of continued need of nutrition education and the awareness of the contributions of school breakfast and lunch programs to the students' ability to concentrate and improve academic performance. Whereas these nutrition programs are an integral part of the student's day, utilizing time and space in the school building contributes to learning and developing of good eating habits, and now therefore be it resolved that the members of the Elizabeth Board of Education hereby proclaim and recognize the month of March 2012 as National Nutrition Month to foster good eating habits in children and adults. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to all school principals and nurses to encourage all parents to become aware and concerned about their children's and their own nutrition habits in hope of achieving a more healthful citizenry for today and for the future. I move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Pereira, second by Ms. Castillo. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nasca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Resolution 10I, authorizing the procurement of goods and services through the state agency.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Trujillo, second by Mr. Nasco. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nasca.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
We have the second reading for the regulation and exhibit for acceptable use for technology, electronic mobile devices, file code 6142.10, and resolution for adoption.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Trujillo, second by Mr. Donoso. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Abstain.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Ferrer.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
And that concludes the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
Madam President,
Yes.
if I may, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to have the Gunite property and the old New Jersey Transit property appraised. As you may or may not know, ironically enough, the Star Ledger yesterday reported that the Governor Christie has given us another school, and that's despite everything we've been through, to be able to start talking about actually constructing another school in the great city of Elizabeth. And that, all the great opportunities, all the educational opportunities that will come from another school, another state-of-the-art school. We're better than right in the middle of town, in a vacant lot that's been an eyesore for so long. It really there's nothing going on there. It'd be a great place for a school. And just imagine all the jobs we can create for our community. While unemployment in Elizabeth is 15% or so, last time I read. It doesn't count the people who stop looking. It'd be great. It's a great opportunity. I'm excited, and I think we should have that land appraised, and perhaps that be the place where, when the discussions start with the SDA about the construction of the school, that we recommend that it be there.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Trujillo, second by Mr. Donoso. Any comments or questions?
Yes, Madam President.
Yes.
Maybe this time around, the city will find that maybe the Board of Ed should get the property for $500,000, like they offered it to their friends. Thank you.
Better yet, Commissioner, since it is an eyesore and it's not just taking away from the community, they should sell it to us for $1, unless for the $500,000.
Well, they, if I remember correctly, they got it for nothing. Perhaps they could give it to us for nothing.
I'd invest $1.
$1, absolutely. Absolutely.
$9, one per board member.
Roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Yes.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nazca.
Yes.
Ferrer.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Absolutely, yes.
Munn.
Yes. At this time, the microphones are open for public comment to those who have signed in. Prior to this session, I shall call individuals to the microphone based on the order of the sign-in. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes in duration. The total time of public comment shall be limited to 60 minutes. No individual is able to yield their time to another individual. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members individually. The following rules for public participation shall apply. Time limits will be strictly enforced. No personal attacks on individuals. No vulgar or indecent language. A person may address the board no more than once during a single meeting. Speakers should refrain from naming individuals. Comments or questions posed during public participation will not be debated. As a reminder, this is a meeting of the board in public, not a meeting of the public. At this time, we would like to call Jose Rodriguez, 618 Jackson Avenue, for the public portion.
Good evening. First, I just want to start, again, I'm Jose Rodriguez. I live in 618 Jackson Avenue, born and raised here. I'm a teacher now for 8 years. I also coach soccer at the secondary level, high school, and I also volunteer my time here in the city of Elizabeth with Hispanic children and in a soccer program that we do. First off, I just want to congratulate the Board of Education for moving the vote, the election to November. I think it'll increase community involvement, which I know this school district and many school districts always need is more parental involvement, not just in terms of the Board of Education, but in their children's lives and education. The other thing that is upsetting is I want to also talk tonight about the dropout rate here in the city of Elizabeth in the public schools. In the last 3 years, and I got these numbers from the Department of Education, not from the Star Ledger, not from the Board of Education, so it's the Department of Education from New Jersey. In the past 3 years, while you ladies and gentlemen have been on the board, we have had over 1,009 secondary age children drop out of school. Okay. Tonight you spoke about how there's high unemployment here in the city, that the crime rate is up, that we're trying to hire more police officers. I don't think anyone would disagree with me by saying that a good education helps prevent unemployment, helps prevent crime in the cities. If we're putting over 1,000 children on the street that have no hope, because when they drop out of school, they have no hope. They don't do it to get a better job. They don't do it to advance careers. They do it because their hopes, their dreams have been crushed. When we put over 1,000 children on the street in 3 years, of course crime is going to go up. Of course unemployment is going to go up. Okay? 1,009 children in 3 years breaks down to, if you look at every single chair in this room, okay, put a child in every single chair. That's how many, every single year, drop out. This is not a political statement. I know we have great schools. We have great schools. Okay? We do really good at the top, but we're failing every year. We're failing every single one of these children that would be sitting here. And obviously the majority are minorities. Okay? So I want many things, but what I'm really asking you is that in this city, we're creating two different types of people. We're having the haves and the have-nots. Okay? If my child goes to Upper Academy or Elizabeth High School, they do fantastic, and that's great, and that's awesome, and I applaud you. Because that, yes, is something that you should be applauded for. But then also, we have let me give you another statistic. Okay? Again, I hate to say it, but the Board of Education puts more children on the street every single year than you do.
Excuse me, Mr. Rodriguez, your time is actually up. Can you wrap it up really quickly, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. You put more children on the street than you put in 4-year colleges. Okay? You put over, well, we won't even get into that, but you can look at the numbers. More children drop out than go to 4 years.
Madam President, I believe his time is up. I would like that we adhere to the policy.
Sure. I just want to leave
Mr. Rodriguez, your time is up.
Just want to leave you with the word,
Madam Chair.
Frederick Douglass.
Point of order.
With no progress.
Mr. Rodriguez, if you would like to speak to one of us afterwards, we'll be glad to talk to you. Thank you for your comments. At this time, no one else signed up for the public portion. I will now close the public comment portion of this meeting. The President requests a motion to go into private session to consider matters exempt under the Open Public Meetings Act, specifically for discussion of personnel, specifically SPFP, Supplemental Personnel Report, reorganization, bylaws, and policies, harassment, intimidation, and bullying results, and workers' compensation claims, specifically EM, CG, JS, NO, HK, and EY, and audit 2010-2011 corrective action plan. The board will reconvene in public to take formal action. Can I get a motion?
Motion to go to private.
Second. Motion made by Mr. Donoso, second by Ms. Castillo. We are now in private.
We need a vote. We need a vote to go into private.
Roll call, please, Mr. Kennedy.
Burgos.
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
De Silva.
Absolutely.
Denosa.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nasco.
Yes.
Pereira. Trujillo.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes, we are now in private.